At roughly $8.7 billion, the domestic cannabis industry is expected to grow to $22 billion by 2021, with a total market demand of over $60 billion. Now, to frame that up, the entire U.S. wine sales in 2017 amassed to only $62 billion, and the entire U.S. domestic beer market was only $100 billion. Currently, due to convenience, discretion, and consumer option, established markets are seeing a drastic shift from flower sales to oil and infused products. In 2017, infused products, including vaporized cartridges, concentrates, and edibles, made up roughly 30% of the market, with a forecast compounded average growth rate of over 30%. With cannabis extract sales reaching $1 billion in 2017 and the total infused products segment topping $3 billion, the expansion of cannabis and hemp-based products are fueling a global market proliferation. Today, classification between medical and adult use sales limit the perspective of the many markets that cannabis and extracts could really serve. U.S. marketplace for chronic pain and pain management is over $100 billion, and with the crackdown on opioids, prescription drugs are sending patients in alternative and natural forms of relief daily. The natural supplements, pharmaceuticals, and beauty categories are topping $700 billion in the U.S., and the additions of the food and beverage categories are industries that are expected to see cannabis ingredient inclusions rapidly expand over the next years. We are in the midst of a green rush. State-by-state regulations are shaping national policy, and as prohibition ends for this economic and life-changing plant, the potential for opportunity seems unlimited. My name's Matthew Anderson, and in addition to being a partner at the MacArthur Investments Fund, an organization that's deployed in upwards of $20 million in the national industry to date, I'm the acting CEO of Vanguard Scientific, a life sciences organization focused exclusively on plant-based extracts in the area of expertise for hemp and cannabis-derived products. Today, I'm here joining you on the Green Flower Network to provide an overview of the lucrative industry of cannabis extracts, as well as to provide some initial insights, education, and some of the differences and nuances from the methods and the processes you can use to render the products themselves. First things first, not all cannabis extracts or oils are created equally. From an adult use perspective, variations of oils and concentrates can be that compared to a glass of wine or a single straight bourbon. With full-spectrum extracts providing terpene-tasting characteristics that seem to read straight from Robert Parker, and distilled high-octane concentrate products delivering the proverbial tequila shot a pot, a firm understanding of consumer preference in the market as you're entering is very important. Unlike alcohol, the use cases of cannabis and the elements which it's made present additional broader considerations for brands and formulators alike, working to normalize plant-based treatment regimens and products to meet and exceed market expectations. The benefits of CBD include chronic pain and analgesic relief. Worldwide studies are showing CBD could potentially have slowing or deteriorating effects on cancer cells. THCA shows benefits in reducing nervous system's inflammation as well as protecting the brain from valuable necessities of Alzheimer's disease. CBN may be nature's answer to Ambien and Lunesta, while THCV could be considered the next dietary supplement you'll find on the shelves at GNC. The methods and systems that are required to produce the full range of final products are not widely known today, and it's imperative to decide what types of extracts you want to create before building your lab to avoid risking valuable investor dollars that would inevitably make products that consumers might not like. For the sake of this presentation, I will explain the two primary methods of extraction, considering volatile and non-volatile, as well as some post-processing methods, refinement and distillation. In the past, hydrocarbon or volatile extraction methods have been used, such as butane, propane, and hexane, to blast plant material in unregulated markets. In the controlled markets of today, smoking butane seems to be a way of the past. Health concerns around residual solvents, safety concerns around explosions, and costs and regulatory concerns around blast-proofing facilities are leading investors and operators to move towards other options. With today's breakthroughs in science, the new capabilities of subcritical and supercritical CO2 extraction provides operators a broader set of tools to create their oils and final products, offering greater ability to capture delicate flavor-rich terpenes and other minor plant elements safely without the risk of explosion or product contamination from unsavory residual chemical solvents. So, you've decided to enter the extraction category of all the options you could make in the cannabis space, but with unclear products, changing regulations, and a myriad of systems, where do you start? Entering the extracts market is one of the most lucrative and exciting and diverse categories within the cannabis industry. And just as I've highlighted before, it's very important to understand a purpose-built laboratory solution. Another important consideration that we work with our clients to define is whether to develop a batch-controlled or continuous processing operation, and further defining whether a business is viewing extraction as a supporting revenue or as a standalone enterprise. Each of these considerations have specific solutions and specific recommendations that are important to address prior to beginning your business. By providing leading-edge technologies and solutions to meet our clients' needs and laboratory solutions, we work for our customers to provide subject matter experts identifying hurdles, risks, and costly roadblocks as they look to build their business. Without defining the why of your extraction business and processing operation, today's owners run significant risk of purchasing the wrong equipment, hiring the wrong specialists, and spending invaluable time in a laboratory only capable of producing products that the market may no longer want. So after you have a clear picture of what your business is going to look like, what type of products it's going to offer, it's time to consider the hard stuff: compliance, licensing, and regulation. Depending on the state that you intend on opening your business in and forming your operations, you'll need to get versed on the nuances of those rules and regulations. In merit-based states or competitive markets such as Florida, Massachusetts, and the other markets on the eastern seaboard, licensing is big league ball. Upfront costs ranging from $150,000, sometimes $500,000 before you begin operation is typical. Application development, subject matter expertise, licensing protocol, and overall infrastructure are absolutely necessary. State-by-state regulations around improved extraction methods must be clearly understood as well. In some markets, volatile extracts are simply not allowed. And with further clarity, county-by-county fire codes must be followed closely. In many states, volatile extraction has been banned, driving business owners to consider safer modern methods of CO2 extraction to produce their products. These questions and several more are used by our client technicians when working with customers to define an optimal facility layout, equipment lists, and required personnel tailored to meet the specific needs of the operation. Our technicians work to define optimal layouts and equipment, working through regulatory and compliance with customers and advanced consultants in the industry. One of the biggest questions we get asked is, how much money can be made? What's the real opportunity set here? And to answer this question, I'm going to approach it twofold because there really is two different consumer sets. In consideration of a vertically owned operation, and for those of you that aren't familiar with that, would be a license holder that has a cultivation, processing, and potentially retail. Extraction, manufacturing, and processing represents a very valuable potential part of the revenue stream, but they look to derive capital other ways. In specialized toll processing operations in exchange, they focus specifically on providing a basket of goods that look to meet other producers and other retailers' needs. An example of a vertical license would be a 5,000 square foot cultivation that produces roughly 200 pounds of plant material per harvest. Assuming about a quarter of a pound in biomass for extraction for each pound of plant material, you'd have about 60 pounds of trim per harvest, harvesting up to 5 times a year. Now, depending on the cannabis strains and the overall extract quality, oil values range significantly, from $8 a gram all the way up to $30 a gram for things called high terpene extracts. Using a conservative $10 a gram example, you expect roughly between $250,000 to $400,000 in additional revenue with just about operations of 5 days a month for extraction techniques. Larger, more specialized toll processing-focused businesses demand a wider array of systems and solutions to meet their diverse client demands. With startups costs and systems arrays quickly climbing into the millions, the ability to provide batch-controlled as well as homogenized large-scale toll processing and remediation brings these business opportune revenues over $1 million a month. Now, I've covered a lot in a very short period of time, and the headline here is the cannabis extracts market is booming. One of the most lucrative opportunities in the industry, and we haven't even discussed hemp. The landscape of extracts are rapidly evolving, so understanding a purpose-built extraction facility, the rules and regulations around the marketplace, and the products that your customers absolutely want are imperative to success in this marketplace today. The billion-dollar marketplace in extracts, a $3 billion marketplace in infused products, and over a 30% year-over-year growth is one of the most exciting reasons why you could ever imagine to get into this space. It's important to know what your customers want, why you're getting into business, and in many reasons, what the opportunities lie ahead. My name was Matthew Anderson, and I'm speaking with you on behalf of Vanguard Scientific today. Thank you so much for your time.